Hello, I'm John, I'm the Geeky Fanboy, and welcome back, welcome to 2021, and we're starting the year off with Doctor Who, of course, the New Year special, which was called Revolution of the Daleks, and yes, I just had to, because I just couldn't remember, it was something with Daleks, definitely. So yeah, new special, just like last year, it actually is sort of a continuation from last year's New Year special. It's about the reconnaissance Dalek who has been destroyed, as we are led to believe in the previous special, and is found by Spider Guy, the politician, uncomfortable, weird dude who finds the shell of these Daleks and turns them into security drones, which basically, just as I thought you couldn't make Daleks, any worse or more evil, no, you turn them into, security police drones and have them police the streets. So that's the thing that's happening. Of course, like the new prime minister gets involved in that. It's like, yeah, I want to use them for my politics and make Britain secure. But of course, that's not going as planned. Meanwhile, our trio of companions is trying to find the Doctor. She's disappeared. She's been gone for like 10 months, and they have no idea where she is. And turns out she's in prison, where she got into to like kind of escape from the Jadoon. She says she's been in prison for being herself, and the one who breaks her out is, of course, and that's not really that big of a surprise, Captain Jack Harkness. And they have a little heist. They get out of prison, reunite with the companions, and then they find out Daleks are happening. So this is a general story of the special. I'm also probably, I'm most likely gonna spoil some stuff. So here is your spoiler warning. If you want a quick summary on my thoughts, I thought it was fine. It was entertaining. I don't think I liked it as much as last year's New Year's special, but I think this is a decent special. Some emotional stuff happens. There's some really good dialogue, especially between the Doctor and some of the companions. It was nice to see Captain Jack Harkness back, even though I didn't really understand the point of him being there or how he got there, but it's still fine. It's cool that he's there, and the Daleks I think work pretty well too. So in general, I thought it was a entertaining special. Nothing too like unique or great, but entertaining, and I think you should definitely give it a watch if you haven't seen it yet. But yeah, the rest of the review are probably going to be spoilers, so I'm going to go through the story, talk about some of the characters, some of the dialogue moment, and yeah, just give you my thoughts on them. So we get the Doctor in prison, which I think is a cool premise, even though I wish we would have gotten more out of it. We basically just see her there. She's sort of miserable, and she has this daily routine she goes through. We have some nice little cameos from some familiar faces, like the Silence, we have a Weeping Angel, we get an Ood, we get the Pating, which I thought was kind of cute that he's there, and they sort of reunite. That was cute. And of course, the one who then gets the Doctor out of prison is Captain Jack Harkness, who just appears just like that. There wasn't any build up, nothing. It's just like, oh, hi, I'm in the adjacent cell. I'm gonna break you out. Let's go. And that just happens, which was a bit weird. I thought they were gonna build up to this a bit more, that he's gonna come rescue her, but he's just there for no real reason. Captain Jack Harkness is just there now. I mean, it's Captain Jack Harkness. It's nice to have him there. And I really like the dynamic between him and Jodie Whittaker's Doctor. I think it's very much like the old days. Nothing really has changed too much, which I think is good. So they break out of prison together, and meanwhile, while this is happening, we see that on Earth, the Spider Guy, which is what I'm going to call him because he was from the Spider episode in Series 11, has taken the destroyed reconnaissance Dalek from the previous special and is building security drones out of them, which is a bit maybe sort of similar to what we've seen. I can't remember the name of the episode right now, but in the Matt Smith episode where he travels to the Second World War, and then there are Daleks there that have been built for Churchill. Bit similar to that, but not really too much, if you ask me. And they're like, yeah, no, they're not really, they're just drones, we're just using the shells and everything. But of course, as a viewer, you're thinking, oh, when is this going to go wrong? Of course, we have the Prime Minister there, who is like, yeah, I need this to, like, advance my, my political ideas and all that, and it's going to help me become Prime Minister. And in the end, I mean, of course, it totally backfires, but in the end, it didn't. The only reason for the Prime Minister and all the politics stuff being there is just so that they can distribute like the Daleks all across the country. That's basically the only reason why they need someone like this Prime Minister, who immediately dies as soon as the Daleks go rogue. So she was kind of useless, I guess. And Spider guy, Spider politician guy, what's his actual name? Jack Robertson, Spider guy. Yeah, he sort of takes on the role exactly what you think his role is going to be. He kind of, like, he doesn't really understand what Daleks are. He thinks it's going to be fine. But of course he's, he's a wanker. He's sort of the antagonist. As soon as the Daleks, like, start taking over, he's like, I'm going to make a deal with the Daleks. And, the one who called you here is the Doctor. And you probably want to destroy her. It's a typical sort of kind of, now that I'm thinking about it, reminds me a bit of Daleks in Manhattan, which sort of was a bit similar when they had this, politician, businessman who was working with the Daleks together. You sort of get similar vibes, and I mean, Spider Guy works fine as an antagonist. It's just very predictable as to what his character is going to be and going to do in this episode. And it was one of my least favourite episodes in Series 11, which was arguably the worst episode in Series 11. Harkness in the UK or whatever it was called. So he's not really that much fun. I mean, the actor's doing a fine job with what he's given. Maybe they should have gone for someone else, or maybe someone from the past we've seen before, or maybe someone completely new. Maybe it would have just been nicer to have something new there, not just, a rehash of a character we've already seen who wasn't really that entertaining to begin with, and who's sort of similar to characters and storylines we've seen before. So, yeah, that's a bit of a problem. But meanwhile, while that's happening, we're going going to the companions, who have been on Earth for 10 months. And they have been without the Doctor for quite a while now, and Yaz is understandably very, very upset about it. So you can tell that she's not ready to let this whole travelling life go. She's very much almost obsessed, with the Doctor and her life and their travelling life, and she wants to find out what has happened. She just can't believe that the Doctor might have just left them, since, the Doctor's been gone for 10 months, even though she didn't really intend to be gone for that long. And I like that you can see this contrast here very early on in the episode, where you can tell Yas really still wants to travel with the Doctor, wants to go with her, but Ryan is there sort of, who has spent these 10 months thinking about what his life has been in the past, and what he wants to do now. And I think you can kind of guess early on that Ryan sort of reaches this conclusion where he says, maybe this is not really my thing anymore, which is of course what I'm going to come back to. But of course the Doctor comes back. We get this, I thought, nice, intense, a little emotional moment where you can tell, Yas is really upset, and she like sort of shoves the Doctor, and the Doctor's like, I haven't been gone for that long, have I? And it's sort of this the classic Doctor companion conundrum. Doctor's gone for too long. But that's quickly glanced over, because the companions are like, Daleks are happening. There are security drones all over the country who look like Daleks, and immediately they just jump into action, and it's back to your classic Doctor Who stuff, but with Jack being there. And I thought Jack works really well with the other companions, especially with Yaz. They sort of pair up Jack and Yaz later in the episode to do some work on their own, and I think they have some really interesting dialogue going on, since Jack has been traveling with the Doctor for a long time, like on and off. And so he's familiar with this feeling of, feeling alone, feeling abandoned by the Doctor. that it doesn't really happen out of your own volition. It doesn't really happen because you choose to like exit the TARDIS. Like this happens very rarely, and Jack knows that, and he tells that Yaz, who sort of doesn't really want to leave this life behind, and she feels very insecure about this maybe happening to her one day. So I thought they have some really cool conversations there between Jack and Yaz, where you can see these sort of two philosophies, of all the Harden companion, new-ish companions sort of coming together and exchanging their thoughts on what's been going on. I thought that was really, really cool. Apart from that, I think we get some really interesting dialogue scenes between some of the other characters as well. Especially there's this one scene between Ryan and the Doctor later on in the episode, where the Doctor opens up about her finding out that the life she's had up until this point might not be what she thought at all. Finding about the timeless child and all that. Even though she doesn't really like say too much, but she says, I don't really know what's been going on in the past. The person who I thought I was is maybe not really the real me, that sort of thing. And what I liked about that moment is that we get the Doctor expressing vulnerability, like honest and open vulnerability towards one of her companions, and it's actually one of her companions, in this case Ryan, who becomes very supportive and says, change is a thing, and you might find out something about yourself, but you're still you're still the Doctor, you're still the person we got to know a couple of months ago, and you're still this good person we know. And I'm not saying ignore everything that's happened, but kind of explore it, but you're still a good person, that sort of thing. And I really, really like that, because I think we need more moments of the Doctor being vulnerable and admitting that they have problems, or that they are not perfect, that they are not always all-knowing, or don't always have the answers, even though we often think they do. So I like that we sort of see Jodie Whittaker's Doctor being like in a situation where she doesn't really know how to feel about this, where she is the one who needs emotional support from others. She's the one who doesn't really know what to say or what to think in this situation, and so she goes to one of her companions to have a meaningful conversation. Ryan gives her that sort of emotional support, and even though he might not even have all the answers, I think it really helped the Doctor to have this sort of moment where she realizes, okay, I'm still a good person, I can still be me, even though all these other things have happened, and I'm allowed to, show that I'm angry or I'm emotional, because I have friends, they're looking out for me, and even though this whole thing has been going on. So I thought that was really, really cool that we get these moments with the Doctor. Now, going back to the whole Dalek problem, they're finding out that there's like a factory in Japan where these things have been built. We get one of the helpers from Spider Guy who's found like biological material, and he starts cloning actual like Dalek tentacle aliens, which again is sort of a rehash from the previous special. So again we get Dalek taking over a human, like literally just like latching on with its tentacles and then controlling the human, which is cool. I mean, it's a proper terrifying idea, and I think it works very well, and sort of like making you feel uncomfortable when you look at it. But we've had that before, so it's sort of just like happening again in the special again as well. So that I don't know. But what I really liked was how the Doctor and her companions were gonna solve the problem. So, because we have a bunch, like hundreds and thousands of Daleks all across the country, and of course we can't destroy all of them. So Doctor is like, yeah, how about we just tell the other Dalek ship that has been looking for these reconnaissance Daleks, and tell them they're here, and so they destroy them, because these are not good and pure Daleks anymore, so let's just call them the proper Daleks so they can destroy them. And I think that was a genius idea. And when these like proper classic Daleks come in, and we get proper like Dalek on Dalek fighting, that is so cool. I'm not quite sure if that has ever like really happened in New Who, like Dalek on Dalek laser fighting and everything, because I thought that was really, really cool and really badass. And I like the sort of color schemes there. You get the classic Daleks, with this brown, bronze, golden sort of shine, and then the new security Daleks are like pure black and grey with like a red eye, which looked really, really cool and proper terrifying, I thought. So yeah, we get Dalek on Dalek fighting, which I thought was really, really cool, and it's a clever solution, I think, and it's risky because you're thinking, yeah, this is like, how else are you gonna destroy all of the Daleks? We need other Daleks in order to destroy them, but then how do you get rid of the new Daleks? And of course, there's Spider Guy who goes to the classic Daleks and is like, I know what's been going on. I can help you. I'm the leader of Earth. I can give you all the information you need. I don't care about all the humans. I can tell that the Doctor is there who called you over. Which, why? It's just so predictable and nothing really comes from it. It's just like, he gets beamed to their ship and like, what was gonna happen? He was gonna want this destruction of the entire human race and planet Earth, and then what? Like, what do you thought he could give to the Daleks that would just go, like, probably straight up kill him? So the companions, like, beam on board their ship and they're trying to blow it up, and which sort of kind of works out. But then the solution is that the Doctor uses a TARDIS to, like, basically the Doctor has a TARDIS and tells all the Daleks to just come on, get me, fly in, and all the Daleks fly in, and the TARDIS just like falls in on itself. Which we saw this other TARDIS in the beginning of the episode as well, like Yaz and Ryan and Graham were there. So did the Doctor have like a second TARDIS? Because I'm not quite sure if I understood this correct. Someone tell me in the comments. Did they have a second TARDIS? If so, how? Where did it come from? Where did it come from? I didn't really get that, but I guess it solved the problem. But doesn't matter, because all the Daleks are defeated. Hooray! Jack just sort of disappears. We don't really see when he's leaving. We just sort of hear a message that he wants to check in on Gwen and everything, which I thought was sort of stupid. Why didn't we get like a proper goodbye from him? But speaking of goodbyes, Ryan and Graham, my boys. So going from what we could already gather throughout the episode, Ryan says that he doesn't want to continue traveling with the Doctor. He says it's been nice, but in these past 10 months he's been alone without the Doctor. He's figured out what he wants to do with his life, so he doesn't want to travel anymore. Which, I think is a valid decision, and you can tell throughout the episode that this is sort of what this whole episode is building towards, Ryan saying that he doesn't really want to do this anymore. And I think he has legitimate reasons to do this. It's fine. But the second he says that, you're realizing Graham is probably going to leave as well. Because I think it would have been a wrong decision for Graham to stay on while Ryan was not with them anymore. That just wouldn't have worked, I think. And so I think from, a character point of view, I think it makes sense that Graham would be like, yeah, sure, I still want to travel, but I don't want to miss out on my grandson, so I'm definitely going to stay with my grandson. And it's nice that we get the sentiment towards the end, with them trying to, Ryan still learning how to ride a bike, which is really cute. And we can tell that they are still, into fighting aliens and all of that they're, still looking out for Earth and defending Earth. I think, I know there have been rumors for a while now that Ryan and Graham were going to leave, and I think it's fine. I had a lot of fun with them, especially with Graham, I guess. He was a lot of fun. And they had a wonderful emotional journey, especially in their first series together. And I think they were good companions. I definitely had a lot of fun with them. And it was a lot of fun to have, like a family dynamic in here. And to, again, have a companion that is older. We haven't really seen, like, old companions since the classic era. I mean, you could count Wilfred, but he's only been on the TARDIS, like, once or twice, so not really sure how much that counts. But, it's nice having characters as companions that are not the norm, so, not, like, human girl in her 20s or something like that. Which, no offense, works fine. But it was nice to have something different, and also with this bigger group of 3 people that was also sort of reminiscent of classic Who era. Yeah, but I think it's okay that they're leaving. I think this also gives Yaz the opportunity to have some more character development, which I guess a lot of people are hoping for. That because Yaz has been a fine character, I think, but I think there's still a lot more you can do with her character. So I'm sort of hoping that they are gonna use that now that they have few companions there to give Yas a sort of opportunity to shine more, and I think it also makes a lot of sense for her to stay on, since we can tell throughout the episode she's very, very much connected to the Doctor, and she really, really likes her and wants to travel. So I think that works out pretty well. So regarding companions as well, is that we find out that there's gonna be a new guy. His name is gonna be, let me look it up, Dan. It's John Bishop as Dan. We saw him in this little introduction teaser trailer, and I'm looking forward to seeing who this man is. I mean, he looks like Hugh Grant's long lost brother. But again, I think it's interesting to have a companion that's not the norm. So we have someone who's a bit older, which I think is always good, that we sort of step away from this norm that we're used to. I'm still waiting for the day that we get more alien companions, that we get companions who are not from the 21st century, present day England or Scotland or Britain. Just give me someone who's from a different timeline. I know we had Captain Jack, and he's interesting. So more of that, characters from the past, and then reacting to stuff that happens in the 21st century, or someone from the 30th century reacting to what's been going on in the 21st century. Or alien companions would also be really, really cool. We had some of that stuff in the classic Who era. I would really love to see that brought back now in a future series. Maybe it's gonna happen. Who knows? But for now, we got Dan, who looks like a nice chap. I'm not familiar with the actor. I thought I had seen him somewhere before. He looked sort of similar. Maybe I've seen him somewhere. I don't know. But I'm looking forward to seeing what he's gonna bring to the TARDIS table. Which maybe also takes away a bit from, Yaz's character development. We'll see how that works out. But I do hope the writers now take this opportunity with, slightly smaller crew, but Yaz still being there, giving her more development, giving her more to do. Maybe she has some interesting interactions with this new companion. We don't know. We'll see if the new companion comes in straight at the first episode of the new series, which is probably what's going to happen, since this is what usually happens. But who knows? Maybe we're getting a couple of episodes just with Yaz and the Doctor, which would be quite interesting to see as well. And yeah, so this is it for my review of this New Year special. I liked the Revolution of the Daleks. I thought it was a pleasant holiday watch. Maybe not as good as last year's special, but it's totally serviceable. I thought it was very entertaining. We have had some really cool character interactions. Maybe the story was, a bit predictable and sort of rehashed some of the previous storylines we knew from Dalek stories. We got an emotional exit from 2 companions who I think are gonna be remembered fondly in the past, and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what's going to happen in series 13. So this is it for my review. I hope you liked it. Thank you for watching. What are your thoughts on the New Year special? Tell me down in the comments below. I definitely love to hear from you. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't done it already, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.